Drum
rolling.
roll.
Oh, we're on. We're rolling. What's up, everybody
What's
here?
up, guys?
Hey, what's going on? I'm sitting here with Daniel, and I don't know how to say your last name. Nikoletti? Did I say that right?
You got it. That's right. Yep.
I'm not that bad at pronunciating. Which is a rough start here. He is the YouTuber, content creator, videographer for Party Over Everything. His page is awesome. So I want to start with like how I found out about you and stuff. I always like to tell people that I found out about you from Forbidden Kingdom. Actually, you were there filming. You look like you set up some type of vlog for it, and like an after movie and all that. And I can't remember if that's how I found you, but I saw your after movie, and that's when you came up on my radar. And because I was in the video, I was in one of the videos that you put out, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in that video. So I immediately was like, I gotta follow this kid because I'm in the video. Like, why not? But might have been I picked up on you from Okeechobee, actually, because I think you went to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wasn't at Okeechobee, but I think I saw you, like, believe it or not, I think we have some mutual friends, and it sounds really weird because I think that's how I saw you, because they posted you with your camera and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check this kid out, because, like, that's somebody I would want to have on the podcast eventually. So it works out, man. So tell me about, well, let's just start with Forbidden Kingdom, because that's where, like I said, that's where it all kind of started.
And so I know you said talk about Forbidden Kingdom, but I'm going to talk about EDC Orlando first, because that was like the start of my rave career. And I've been making videos at raves for a while, but at EDC Orlando, I got my first media pass, and I finally realized, wait a minute, I can get a media pass and fucking go backstage and do anything. So, and I realized I can bring my professional camera in. I've been doing videography for years. So after that, EDC Orlando was awesome. I made a cool after movie. I went to Forbidden Kingdom, and that rave was like the best content I've ever created. Like, met the funniest people. I just made a shit up. Like, do you even headbang, bro? We got like hundreds of thousands of views on TikTok. I was like, bro, this is nuts. So it made me realize, okay, raving is fun. Raving can get views, and this is like the community I want to target, and this is the community I want to get attached to, and I really love this community, and I feel like I just vibe perfectly. Forbidden Kingdom was the first festival I've ever been to alone, which is so new to me, but I got more done. And yeah, it was just such a good rave. Like, it was small, it wasn't too packed.
It'll get bigger, but it's at such a unique size for the amount of artists and people that are there. Like, it's ridiculous, that line. I'm sorry, like, that lineup is just absurd for how small the festival is. Now, imagine that almost identical lineup, except Excision 2 days in a row your first year. Like, it was ridiculous, and it was only one stage the first year. It was just that big main stage. That was it. It was like maybe 2,500 people there, and it was just absolutely bonkers, like just crazy.
Dude, yeah, I feel grateful to have known about. I almost didn't go. Like, I was supposed to go with a huge group, and this is before Corona, but they all got sick with like the flu. They're like, we had COVID.
Oh, they had COVID.
I don't know. They all got sick before the festival. Like, they were throwing up, puking. They all had to like sell their tickets, and I was literally the only one left, which was a blessing, man. I got to do so much more and just really go all out as far as meeting people and content. And you said you were in it. I want to know, like, what part were you in it, and where did you see yourself in the video?
It was day 2. You came up to us. I remember, it's so funny. I remember it clearly as day. We were in line. We were there early to get, like, we were the first people in the line, and you were coming down the line with your camera, like, hyping people up because the music had just started playing. So you were coming in line, and you were just vlogging it, like, yo, let's go. You hype for day 2, and I was like. I was looking at it, I was like, all right. And then I didn't think anything of it. I just, maybe probably working for the festival, like getting some content. And then it just came up on my Instagram feed, and I was like,
dude,
like, holy shit, that's me. Like, that's me in that video. And
hell yeah,
and what's so funny what you just said is I was in the same predicament. I decided to go to Forbidden Kingdom super last minute. And this was like, my page at the time was a lot more video content of just pure on sets. No, it wasn't me doing stuff. It was mainly just videos of rave sets, which it still is partially, because that's why I like to make. I love taking videos of just the event itself. And so I was actually going that weekend for the purpose of getting more video content of just festival sets. And I didn't think I could go because I started a new job, and they told me I was having to work weekends for the first couple of months. And I found out like literally 2 weeks before that I could go. My schedule was switched around, so I bought my ticket 12 days before. Like, found a group to go with, bought a hotel, all that. So I like wasn't planning to go at all. And I did the same exact thing as I went with the group kind of, but I ran around the whole time and it was like boom, boom, flopping between stages, like getting videos, getting pictures, getting all that. And I got a ton of stuff too. I did not get a media pass, however, so I'm assuming you had one.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I emailed them and all that, but it was just too late because like I said, I found out 12 days before I could go. I was like, hey, can I get a media pass? Like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, it's already given them out. And I was like, okay, no problem. Like, I understand. But I actually got my camera inside. They were very lax with security.
Oh, dude, you got your camera inside?
I got my camera inside. So what I did was, which I'll give it a little like tip away. Like I just, my lens could come out. So I put like the lens in like one bag. And then I put the camera in like another person's bag. And it just like went through security fine.
They didn't say anything like,
and then when
you're
I
not
got
allowed to bring that in?
No, because it was without a lens. And then the other thing was like, oh, I just left the other person, I just left the lens in there. Sorry. Like I can't do anything with it. And then I just put them back together when I got in.
I'm gonna have to keep that in mind, man.
Little tip there for you. A little tip there.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I don't know if you've ever had a media pass, but that experience of going backstage is so cool. Because like EDC Orlando, for example, was probably the best experience because they had like a 3-story building with all the artists, like the makeup rooms, and it was just so official because it's EDC.
Yeah.
And they had like a buffet, a view of the entire stage. And at night I climbed. You weren't really supposed to, but I climbed all the way to the top of this building, like to 10 stories, and nuts. Like seeing a rave from above, insane. And then I got my friend up there too, and it was such a cool experience, man. Getting that media pass and being able to like run around backstage is cool.
So my question then is, how do you go about getting a media pass? You're just you apply on Insomniac and show your website?
I'm applying through like the websites through them, and I feel like my follower base isn't big enough yet, but it will be eventually. And I know a lot of people who do apply through them and get the media pass, which is awesome. But I actually leverage my videography, and I hit up the artists and I ask them if they want me to record their set, and then they let me in. They put me on their guest pass.
No way. So, that's a genius. I never would have thought of that. That's a genius idea. So you're going and saying, for example, you just take like Wooly, for example. Hey, you're Wooly. I'm going to come in. I'll video your entire set. And then you just make a promo video afterwards for him or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so sick, man. That's so cool. That's so smart. That's so smart. I would have never thought of that. That's crazy. But I bet you that is game changing, just to be able to be within, because it's one thing to be in the crowd, but now you're in the front of the crowd, you're getting the video people, so you're getting like your own content and you're getting content for the DJ. It's just kind of like a best of both worlds type of thing.
Yeah, man.
That's something to keep in mind.
It's just such a good look for like my videography too, because I really want to record music festivals, and I really love making content for these things. Like, I don't go there and just goof around. I'm like out there. They think I'm working. The people that work the festival think I'm working it too. They think I'm on the job. That's how hard I'm working. I'm working just as hard as them trying to make my own after movie. And then I post it on my video, and people think I'm working for these festivals when I'm not. When that could be like the end goal. Like, that would be really, really cool. But yeah, it is a good experience for sure.
It is, and it's funny you say that like working hard part, because it's you're at the rave. You always, at least that's what me is like. Yeah, I'm there. I want to have fun, but at the end of the day, you also you're like, okay, I gotta get like. That's how I was at Forbidden. Like, I was taking an excessive amount of videos. I felt like, yeah, I'm here and I am having fun. I'm having fun taking videos though. That's because like that's just what I like. Like, I'm just enjoying. Like, some people are out there headbanging. I'll headbang a few songs too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm almost like, I got my phone up, I got my camera out, like something, and it's just, everyone's got their own different thing to like enjoy the festival. This is what I'm getting at there. But
dude, yeah, I mean, it is definitely a payoff. It's like a trade-off. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are times when I'm like, man, I don't really feel like vlogging. I don't feel like recording right now. But the way I see it, I really just have this in mind that it's like, this is what I want to do for my job, and if I can stick with this and just not party and let go and kind of get more focused and work on these vlogs and content a little bit longer, I'll eventually be getting paid for this, and I won't have to work a real job, but it will still be a real job.
Dude, just preaching to the choir right now, man. That is like the ultimate goal, is to, at least in my head, is like, I don't want to have to continue to work this 9 to 5 job that I'm at right now and eat away 40 hours a week doing stuff for somebody else, and something I don't truly enjoy, you know? Like, I applaud that. I'm all for that mindset. Like, well, no matter what it is, for starters. Like, I don't care what it is. You want to sell nudes? Go ahead. You want to, whatever it is, I'm all for it. If you think you can work your ass off and get out of that 9 to 5 lifestyle and such, I think that's the way to go. That's the way to be, like, happy, at least in my opinion.
Dude. Yeah.
So how did you get involved? How did you get started with videography and stuff like that? Like, when was that like, oh, I want to start doing this more and more?
So videography has always been something I've done. Even as a little kid, I picked up a camcorder, and with my cousins, we made videos. And even though I was the youngest out of all my cousins, I would be the one editing the videos, which kind of made no sense because, I'm the youngest. But I've always liked it. I've always had confidence in it. And when I was in high school, I made a gaming channel on YouTube. And this was when YouTube was way easier on gaming. Now gaming is probably way more challenging. But I was getting millions of views. I got about 2 million total. I got paid thousands of dollars through gaming. And I stopped gaming because, I just quit games. And I started going to music festivals and parties and, hanging out with my buddies, getting drunk, going through the whole college phase. And I bought a GoPro, man. And I really got inspired by one of my friends who was making videos. And I bought a GoPro, and I just started making these silly videos, like, and really putting a lot of time into it. And finally, one of them got 15, 20,000 views. And this was back long ago, man. And off of GoPro Hero 4, the shittiest quality you can imagine, but I really made it work. And then after that, I was like, fuck this, party over everything. That's when I started that. And I bought a camera, had no idea how to use it. And I just recorded all my vacations, man. Any chance I got, I made a video. Literally, I could come out to a park like this, and I would just try to make a video of the park.
Dude, I love it. I love how you're
eventually.
I love how you're in a park right now. It's great. I love it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right?
Side note.
It's about to be an epic sunset too. But
oh my God.
Eventually, I started getting a little bit of recognition, and people started hitting me up like, "Hey, can you make me a video?" And bro, I would charge next to nothing, like $50. I'll make you whatever you want. I'm getting paid for videography. Like, what? And then I took a course online, full-time filmmaker, best course ever. And eventually I started getting paid more and more. And I started taking it more and more seriously, investing more and more. And now it's like my full-time job. I quit my day job. But funny enough, man, this is just a quick tip to anybody. Anything you do in life can get boring. I really thought full-time videography would make me quote unquote happy. Next thing you know, I'm actually tired of full-time videography. I'm sick of doing these weddings. I'm sick of doing, random video shoots for random people. It's cool. And I loved it when I started, but now I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm like, I need more now. I want to become a content creator. I want to get paid for my content. So yeah, that's what I'm transitioning into now, is just putting more and more hours into creating these vlogs and creating just random content for you guys.
I want to go back for a second there, because you said something that was very enlightening in my opinion. And it's that you just said, life, no matter what you're doing, can be boring. And that's something that I have noticed in the last few months myself, is that you can very quickly become complacent and just accepting things as they are and not expecting it to get better or wanting it better. And I think that's something you've touched on there that's important for everyone to hear, is that if you're feeling like it's boring and you're dragging through it and you're like, yeah, I'm doing it, I'm making the money, maybe there's maybe you switch over. There's something else out there. You start exploring those options. And I'm not saying people should make that leap if they don't have the means to make the leap, but start exploring those options, maybe after hours, or take a day off and explore something else. And then change, exactly what you're saying. You're like, I don't want to make videos for people. I want to make videos for me. Exactly. And if people like it,
that resonates.
Yeah.
Well, even when you said it, even when you just said, you copied what when you said, I don't want to make videos for people, I want to make videos for me. Inside, it just said, fuck yeah, fuck these videos. I don't want to make videos for nobody no more. But dude, something Gary Vee says is, don't be afraid to change your mind. You can be you can want to be a videographer one moment and then decide, you know what, I don't want to be a videographer anymore. And like, you gotta chase what makes you happy. I remember back in the day, uh, I told myself like, I really felt if I ever become a full-time videographer, I would be so happy. Like that would be so amazing. And it actually happened way sooner than I thought. Like it happened like probably like 2 times faster than I thought it would.
Right.
And once I got it, it was really cool. And then next thing you know, I'm like doing 5 video shoots a month or a week sometimes. And I was editing like 8 hours a day. Like, and I realized, okay, well, do I really want to be editing all day long? Like, is this the life that I really want? I don't want to start a production company. So it kind of made me realize, okay, even though this is what I thought I really wanted, it's not. So I changed my mind. I was like, you know what? I actually started, dude, I've turned down like 3 weddings, which is insane. I'm like, but like genuinely, I'm just like, fuck those weddings. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not doing another wedding unless I really have to, you know?
I mean, and that's the thing is like you've got the clientele and the credibility to fall back on that if it's needed. So like you have the opportunity to take that risk and take that gamble and take it. The way I see you're taking it is you're taking it cautiously and smartly. Like yes, you're taking the risk, but at the same time you're like, okay, if it really goes south, which starters I don't think it will from what we're talking about, but if it does, I do have that baseline to fall back on, and I think that's very key and important as well, is because like you have some people that might just take that leap and have nothing to fall back on, and that's okay too. But I'm me personally, I'm on the side of more of like a little cautious, and I'm like, okay, have a little bit of stability, maybe in the background, and then just take that leap for what you got to do. And that's the way I see what you're doing. I think that's smart. I think that's the right way to do it. And there's nothing wrong with taking a leap and having nothing to back up on, but it's a lot harder, and you put a lot more risk on yourself. I mean, that might be the driving force why people get so successful, is because they're like, I got nothing. Like if I fail at this, like stand-up comedians, it's like some of them just dive into it, and it's like you're either good or you're not. And they're like, well, I have to be good because I've put everything in this one basket. I have no choice.
Dude, yeah.
And it's
And honestly,
go ahead. No, go.
Honestly, the idea of failing and going back to these weddings and stuff is really scary. Like that scares the shit out of me. I don't think I would ever do that. But so like what you said about like the going all in on it, like the idea of burning the boats, like me turning down these weddings and just kind of like slowing the momentum of my videography business and not taking any more clients as much as I could be taking, is kind of like burning the boats, like saying, you know what, I'm discarding all of this. And part of it's like really relieving, like that when I turn down a wedding, I'm actually like relieved, like, oh, thank God, I don't want to do that wedding. So like I feel, and what I'm doing now, like vlogging and stuff, it's still really challenging, like getting out of my comfort zone, going to random places, having a camera in front of my face and just talking to the camera and getting better at it and like meeting new people. It's way more challenging. It's just a whole new experience. You can't be stuck complacent doing the same thing. You really got to learn and innovate and grow.
Yeah, it's just part of the whole life experience in a sense. I don't want to cliche my words in there, but it is. It's like you're living for you, and you're learning day by day, and things are just happening, and you're taking it in, and you're just going through this thing we call life, and you're upping one level at a time, slowly but surely. And every time you get to a new level, the next level unlocks, and you're just getting a little bit higher, and then you're okay, I want a little bit more, and then you get a little bit higher, and as you get higher, more of those doors open up for what you want to do. It's crazy once you get your mind to it and you start divulging into it, what starts to fruition and open up. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, whatever you're trying to do in life, like whatever goals you do have that you're maybe hesitating on, once you finally make that leap and you're making that leap, I feel like life starts to open up more opportunity for you. Like, for example, I've always wanted to do full-time travel, like digital nomad. And I've always wanted to just create content for myself full time. So I started doing that last month. And ever since like I got out of the house and I said, okay, I'm out the house now. I'm about to start traveling. Like my lease isn't even up. You realize that everything can be figured out, and you start to get all these ideas, and it really does open up a lot for you, for sure.
Yeah, that's quite the how did you come to that decision of making that jump from like that's it. I'm done travel. I know you did it recently. I know we talked about you, but you're just deciding to start doing it. How is that? You know, how that come to fruition, and how is it going so far?
So, man, I had a girlfriend for about 2 years, and I've always wanted to do full time travel. It's always been on my mind, but you know that fear of the unknown. It's just
Yeah.
it never happened, and I found myself during COVID just getting really like the festivals for me were like my goal, but when those stopped, I got like this lack of inspiration. Like I didn't really know what to do anymore. And I've always wanted to travel. I've always been a big fan of like Jay Alvarez, Lost LeBlanc, Sam Colder, and all these other like videographers who travel full time. And I just watched a couple videos. I read a book called 4 Hour Work Week. Basically, that convinced me to do what you really want to do, like cut the bullshit. Just so what it made me do is it made me sit down and write 5 things. If anything was possible, genuinely, what are the 5 things that you want out of life in the next 6 months, 6 to 12 months? And for me, that was full time travel. And then on the next part, it said, what do you have to do now to get that? And I was like, well, shit, I have to get a passport. So I got my passport. I have to save money. So I started saving money. I just got everything ready. And now, like, I'm ready and I'm booking trips and it's not hard. Like, anyone can do it. Oh, yeah, you have to make money while on the road. And that for me could be video editing or finding a job when I get there. So, yeah.
That is awesome. I'm very much intrigued on the book and some of the stuff that you read, just to for myself in general, because I've got stuff that I want to take that plunge on and take that leap on. And like you're saying, it's like, hey, you get that doubt in your head, you get those complacencies, and it's very hard. It's very hard. But dude, all the more power to you. And I feel like with videographer, you'll be able to get a job any city you stop into. I mean, someone's gonna want something. Some business is gonna want something. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
not that you'd want to go back to weddings, but at the same time, you could. You know, you're there for a week and a half. You do you're there for 2 weeks. You do like 2 days, and then you get paid, and
Yeah.
it's great for the week, and then you make content the rest of the time. It's like a genius way of doing it. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I think you've got it. I
I
think
mean, for
you're
some reason, at this point in my life, it's almost different if I were to get gigs while on the road. It's just more of an experience. Like, I'm seeing different places and then I'm getting gigs there. It's almost like more gratifying and ultimately, yeah, creating my own content for sure.
So when you travel to different cities, or you reach out to people before you go, or when you get there you start reaching out to people?
So like right now, I'm gonna base where I go off. So here's a cool fun fact: EDM festivals are literally everywhere in the world, from South America to Asia to Europe to North America to Canada. They're everywhere, and I'm going to base where I go off of the shows that I want to go to. So let's say I want to go to Ultra Taiwan, which is actually where I'm from, where my mom is from, which I'm definitely going to go to because it's just such a no-brainer for me. I would base a trip for like a 2 to 3 month trip in Taiwan, travel everywhere. There's cheap ways to travel, and you can do it long term for pretty low cost. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I figure out where I want to go. I didn't have any plan for Fort Worth, and I've ended up meeting hella cool people and just discovering like cool things about this city. For example, this city has like the best coffee shops I've ever been to. Like, I went to like some bomb ass coffee shops.
Oh,
So.
tell me about the coffee shop vlog. Tell me about a coffee shop vlog.
Dude.
We mentioned it a
So
little
like
bit before.
yeah, I'm making like a little vlog about all the coffee shops I'm going to and like the nightlife. But basically like every coffee shop I've been to is just aesthetically very pleasing. Like they've had like all these little lights and all these paintings everywhere. Like, I'm a big coffee shop person because I'm a videographer. I have to edit somewhere. And when I walk into it, I can really appreciate a great coffee shop with good coffee. I'm a caffeine head for sure.
Caffeine addict for sure. I drift more into the tea world than I do coffee.
I try to limit it a little bit. Today I had like an espresso shot, so I'm still a little wired. No
yeah,
lie.
it gets you going, gets you feeling good. I've done, when I do coffees for every once in a while. I get what's weird when I do coffee is it like I don't crave my tea anymore. I'm a big sweet tea drinker, and like I don't crave any more caffeine for like the rest of the day. If I have a coffee in the morning, I'm like, that's enough for me. I just need some water. Like, I'm good. That's just, shit gets you wired, man.
Dude, yeah,
For
especially if
sure.
you don't drink coffee a lot.
No, I'm not a big coffee drinker. So I'm like a very plain coffee drinker. I'm like a little bit of cream. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Dude, yeah, same. Black coffee all the way. I'm really into like fitness and health and all that too. Like, I want to be like, I want to make my channel around that too. Like, I'm starting to really preach my health, and a lot of people are starting to hit me up and say like, so like, what do you eat? What does your diet consist of? And I realize like this is something I'm really passionate about actually, is health and nutrition. And I realize I can really like incorporate that into my channel, like just being healthy before the rave, like really getting your vitamins on, really getting your health on. So when you go to the rave, you have tons of energy, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
It
man.
really does.
That's funny you mentioned that because that's something I think like it's very under talked about. Like
Yeah.
what you do before the rave, and obviously we all know there's a lot of people that are doing stuff during the rave. So there's a way, you gotta get your body ready as best as it can, so that way when you're done, you're not dead or
Yeah.
sick or
Dude,
whatever.
yeah, and I'm just like figuring out the content as I go. For example, like this hippie sabotage show, I realized, you know what, I'm gonna vlog everything. So I had like a huge active recovery day before the festival or the rave, and then I went there and dude, I didn't vlog as much because my road mic got stolen, but I got like blasted, and I think it's like hilarious to just edit my vlog and see myself being healthy and then just getting like super drunk. And I don't get super drunk all the time, but when I do, it's so fun. And just like talking to the camera, being stupid, being funny, and then waking up and getting a workout in, like really getting that balance of like, I'm going to work my ass off, but I'm also going to party and have fun and let everyone see both sides of that world.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to hide both sides. Like, but you're a person. You're just like everybody else. You're a person. You're gonna do both. It's like, yeah, it's like I think that's slowly going away in our world where we want that like one-sided thing of like this is how this person's supposed to act, so they have to act this way. And I think slowly but surely we're just wanting more. We're craving like just real people. We just want people that are real. We don't want this fake Instagram bullshit anymore. We want real people. Now, what do you do pre-rave? I'm curious. What do you do to get ready?
It's a good question. So I've been more on the health and nutrition side recently than I have been in the past. But honestly, it's just like a lifestyle. But what I have been doing for my big like video shoots and big events that are happening, for example, this hippie sabotage one, is I'll get a fucking green juice and I'll be chugging green juice all day the day before, and I'll take like after the rave, I'll take turmeric shots and ginger shots and all these different weird shots that you can get from the store or from a juice bar. Basically anything to get your immune system up, because if you're not sleeping and you're partying all day and you're drinking and if you're maybe doing some substances, your immune system's going to take a hit. And I actually don't even recommend doing substances because most of it out there is not real and it's really bad stuff. But either way, you're going to be up all night, you're going to be having a lot of fun. Giving your body vitamins and giving your body like the green juice, turmeric shot is going to like really help you out. Like you're not going to feel nearly as bad. You're really going to feel okay the next day. Like the next day after drinking, I was dizzy in the morning, but after my turmeric shot, after the green juice, I was fine, man. I had some pho too. So anyone who out there who likes pho, you know what's up. Like the pho is probably what cured me that day. I was like I was so hungover, but yeah.
I'm more of a preload on the vitamins and get a good sodium and all that stuff that's needed. I'll do multivitamins up until and emergency up until the day, and then on the days of the rave, I usually try to have like a protein shake or immune shake in the morning, and then again I have like another emergency during the day, and then I'm pumping vitamin C throughout the weekend, and then when I get back, it's like first day back from the festival, I'm hitting the gym. Like I'm hitting the gym and I'm hitting it hard. Nice. And I'm not gonna lie to you, first day back from a festival and I hit the gym hard, I walk out of that gym, I feel amazing. I don't know what it is about that. Like it's like just pumping, you're like sweating and you're like, oh shit. Oh, whew, I'm back.
Like a detox, man.
It is. Yeah, it is. Awesome. Hit the sauna, get that shit out of you, whatever it is that you're drinking. If people do substances, I know some do, like it all just flushes out. You get a good workout and a good pump in for sure.
Dude, yeah. Hell yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's funny because you have friends. Probably I have friends that like they're just dead. They don't do anything. They don't do anything to
Yeah.
get ready, and they're just like
But
by
like to each their own. Like I know I have a couple friends who are like after a big festival and they've done a bunch of Molly and they're like super tired and they're like, man, when I get back, bro, we're doing a fucking Harry Potter marathon. We're watching all the movies or whatever movie they choose, or Star Wars or Game of Thrones marathon. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like if you're enjoying that and that's what you want to do and that's how you recover, like fuck yeah. But for me, I'm like half workaholic, half partier. So like as soon as I'm done partying, I'm already thinking, okay, it's time to get back to the content. I gotta edit.
yeah.
So like whatever gets me back in that zone, which to me is healthy.
I mean, I agree. I think it's important. Yes, it's important to relax afterwards. I will not knock that. I've been there. I've done that. I do think though it's super, super more important to take care of your body because it's so easy to get stuck in that state of like I'm just gonna relax and I'm gonna chill, and especially when people come down from Molly and stuff like that, and they got that post depression, like it can.
Dude, yeah, you have to now that you're right.
Can,
you have to snap out of
it
that.
can turn into
sure.
a very bad cycle very quick if people are not careful. And that's something that I feel like is not talked about in the community. I don't really want to get into it too much yet, but like for real, like that's something that people should take into consideration of like get your body to get out and do something. I don't care if it's walking, like just get out and do something. Yes, relax. Obviously, you're tired after 3 days, but don't let that ooze into your life, until the next festival. That's something I would always say.
Yeah, like minimize the come down for sure. That's big.
So how did you? Yeah, exactly, for sure. How did you come about starting Party Over Everything? Curious about how that became about as like this is what I'm doing. This is the brand. This is me now. Let's hear it.
Party Over Everything. My friend actually made that name. We were in high school and we were going to like so many house parties. And we started an Instagram page called Party Over Everything. We just never really did much with it. And then when I started the festivals and stuff, that was like, to me, that was just such a cool name. Like it's just such a memorable name.
Yeah.
Party Over Everything.
It is.
And it's just like literally, I've really only started since January. Like to me, like that's when I really started taking POE serious and really made the decision. Okay, this is a brand I'm gonna put all my energy into. And already, like I'll go to a festival or after Forbidden Kingdom when I went to Okeechobee and people were just seeing me randomly and they would say, "Oh, party over something, party over." They would just, they would say they knew that it was party over something.
Yeah,
they were like, "Oh, party above everything," And I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like it works. Like the name works. So that's kind of how that name got started.
So it started Forbidden Kingdom, you're saying?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Honestly, I had a dream of just going all around the world to different. I don't know anyone else who's doing that too. Like going. So I already want to be a traveler. I want to be a digital nomad, quote unquote. I want to go to EDM festivals, and I love talking to people. So like I'm just combining the three into like one channel, and I think that's what I'm doing.
It's that's so funny because that is the initial idea of how my page started. I swear to God, it was like I'm already going to like my thought was that I was like I already travel, I'm already going to festivals. Why am I not taking advantage of this more?
Right.
Like literally, it was like it just like clicked one day. I was like, wait a minute, like why don't I start my own page and like just be me and show me doing what I'm doing, and then if people like it, they like it, and if I can eventually get into photography and all that, like throw it all in there as well. It's like it's crazy. It's so funny though, because just hearing you talk about it, I was like, I can remember thinking the same thing. Now I don't know, I'm not much of a traveler nomad. I don't know if I could do that lifestyle. But
I'm not either, man. And honestly, I'm not, but I'm starting to become one. Like I'm figuring out that okay, we have iPhones. You know how fucking useful these iPhones are. I'm not gonna lie though, without my iPhone, I'm screwed. So I always bring a portable charger. Be smart, but everything you can do, you can figure out. Like I know people who have done it without their iPhones before iPhones were invented, and they would travel all around the world just reading maps. Can you imagine that? Like that'd be fucking hard.
Wild.
But dude, yeah, it's so possible, man. And I think whatever you're trying to do, just jumping into it and just figuring it out is so possible. It's just about that mental block, making the leap of whatever you want to do, and And part of it is asking yourself, like, wait, what do I want to, like, what do I want to do? Because I feel like if you don't mentally decide, I want to do this, this is my goal, this is my purpose, you're just going to fall into, something else, and you're just not going to be happy with it. I feel like part of life is, at least for me, like knowing what I want to do. And honestly, like since I've made this switch to, you know what, I'm traveling full time, this is what I want to do. Life became a lot more easy for me. Like everything started coming together. I figure things out more, and like I have a reason now. Like I have a reason to save my money. I don't want to buy the extra latte, even though I've been buying a shit ton of lattes recently. I don't want to like buy the extra latte to. I'd rather save that money and push towards long-term travel, because I know that will make me happier right now in this moment.
Dude, that's so funny you said. I remember, so in college, I couldn't join a fraternity or anything like that. I had to pay my own way. My parents were not going to help me with that at all. So that I had to work too. I worked like 35, almost full time a week, and I would save up money, and I specifically would save up money for trips and festivals.
Yeah.
And what's funny is occasionally, I would definitely go out occasionally. There's no doubt I did go out in college. I went out and, but I remember sometimes I'd go to my buddies' frat houses, and some of the guys knew me, some of the guys didn't. But some of the guys would come up and be like, "Dude, like, you're going everywhere. I see you're traveling. You're going to these festivals, and like, I love festivals, but like, how are you doing this?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm working and just saving up money, and I'm not paying, I'm not paying for the fraternity either. I hate to say it. I'm not knocking on fraternities, but I mean, that was a big sailor. I didn't have to spend $1,000 a semester. I used $1,000 to go, buy a plane ticket, a festival ticket, and a hotel.
Yeah.
Like it was like a whole thing. And some of them were like, some of them would get it and be like, yeah, and then they would get jobs and start working, and some would come with me. But it's funny, like when you get that goal and you get in that headset and that mind space, it's like, yeah, no one's gonna tell me I'm not doing what I want to do. Like you really want to. I remember some friends, you really working that much, and I'm like, I love it. Like I'm making money. I have more money than all of you, and I get to go do what I want to do, And I remember like being in college, like I could eat out. I could eat out every day if I wanted to, and sometimes some weeks I would. I'd eat out like I could get Chick-fil-A, get Chili's, like whatever, like and just eat out after work, and then still be able to save money and do what I wanted to do. It was,
Dude, yeah. And like honestly, I remember a year ago I was doing videography. Actually, a little more than a year ago, I was doing videography, and this is when things started to pop off. Like, holy shit, I'm getting booked. And I feel like I lost my purpose. Like, I was just working my ass off, making money, going out to eat, blowing it all on like restaurants, and it never really satisfied me. Like, like it's like such a weird feeling to have like a purpose. And now like what I'm doing, it's just more gratifying, honestly. I feel like it's easy to get stuck in the day-to-day life and just like just work to work, and then not really have a purpose behind it.
it's so easy, man. That kind of, we made a little, almost a full circle there. It's so easy to get complacent in that. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get dinner. And then whatever you do at night, fall asleep, smoke, whatever,
Yeah.
play video games
And
till
then
12, and then wake up and do it again.
Point. Like I believe, like, since you have a purpose for your like content creation and or whatever you're trying to do, when you do go to your job, you're like, well, I don't really like this job, but this is going to pay for what I need. So this is going to pay for my travel. So like when I get back to Little Rock for a week or two before I head on to my next trip, I'm going to be like working my ass off. Like I'm going to take gigs. I'm going to do all of it. And I'm not really going to necessarily enjoy all of it, but I'm always going to have it in the back of my head. Like this is going to fuel my long-term travel. This is going to be dope. Like I'm not just making this money to blow it on restaurants and blow it on smoking weed, and nothing wrong with that every now and then it's fun, but like I'm going to use this money and leverage it to chase my quote unquote dreams or just have a great time, man.
Yeah, I mean that's such an underrated thing that I don't know if most people grasp of what you're saying. Is like sometimes you have to do stuff that you might necessarily not want to do for the end goal of what you do want to do. In its purest, simplest form is you might eat shit right now for the fact that you're gonna not eat shit later, whatever it might be, or you're making the sacrifice now to put in the work and put in the hard work and I'm not gonna see my friends because I'm working so hard and it sucks. But at the end of the day, I get a week and a half off when they have to keep working or whatever. Whatever that end goal is, it's such an underrated value and mindset that I feel like a lot of people just don't have. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know a lot of people that don't have that.
To each their own. I see a lot of people who work a job that I can just tell that they're not really happy with. That they'll come home and they'll come home and they'll be like, I'll be like, how was work? And they'll be like, oh, it was shitty. But at the same time, they're like blowing all their money on random things that they just don't need. And to me, that's like, you're just going to be stuck there. Like if you're not actively trying to get out of that, then you're going to be stuck there. There's no out. Like that's your life then. So for me, whenever I go to work at like my server job, for example, part of me is like, this is not okay. I am working this, but it's not okay. And it fuels me, man. I go home and I'm just like, what can I do to fucking get out of this right now? Like, what content can what can I do? And it really does fuel me, man.
Yeah, and
you really just gotta hate
it. You
hate
do.
It so much.
You do hate it so much that you want to get out, and that's what I mean. Is I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing that lifestyle, but what is bothersome is when people get stuck in that lifestyle and then don't do anything about it but complain. It's like,
yeah, no, that's even worse.
Yeah, like, motherfucker, you have the chance to get out. You're just not being smart about it. You're not taking that opportunity to do it. You don't have the diligence.
That's going into like victim mentality, and that's a whole nother topic. I mean, I don't even have patience for that. Like, I just don't understand it, honestly. Because, like, I guess a little bit about me is a little personal, but my mom's a single mom, and she raised 2 kids with with like 3 jobs while raising us, and like, that was like, to me, that set the bar of work ethic. Like, there's no excuse. You either you make it or you're lazy. That's the way I see the world, to be honest. And with the internet, dude, anything is possible.
Oh my gosh, the internet has opened up so much. I'm a little dummy and I'm horrible with computers, but I mean, the fact that I
dropped out of college.
The fact that I can Google something and then be fine. Man, that's another topic in itself, is the fact that nowadays I don't even understand the point of college for some degrees. Now I'm someone who went and graduated, and I was like, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not want to go. My parents had to talk me into going, and I went and I did it, and I got my degree, and woohoo, and I got a job now, and yay, everything's great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's gotta be more to this than what's occurring. I don't like what's happening.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. And I feel like if you've graduated and you're saying that you have every right to be like, I don't see the point in college, because like for me, I dropped out, so it's weird for me, because I say that a lot too. Like, I feel like college is just, there's no point, and what's the point? But then again, I never finished, so it's like I don't really have the right to be like, college is dumb, But if you graduated saying it, then that just means a lot more, man.
And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, the experiences and all that, I think that's a lot of the reason why people go, is they want the experience. And I did this,
that's
and
true.
blah blah.
That's true. College was a cool experience, though. Not gonna lie, it was fun.
Yeah. And to each his own. Some people need that, where they need to get the degree and they need to get the job. Other people, can do what you're saying and get on the internet and figure out that they can make their own website about pets and run a blog about pets and what toys to get, what toys not to get, what food to feed them, who's the best sitter in your area, like whatever that is. And they can figure that out, and they don't have to go to school, and they shouldn't have to go to school for that, because the internet, with anything, if you can figure out the internet and how to use it, which isn't hard, but if you figure out what you want and you start Googling stuff about how to do that, how to make that happen, and how to do whatever, you can do your own shit and be on your own and not have to have a college degree, and just work your butt off, and in time, if you've got the patience for it, it'll come.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, honestly. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, everything we talked about has been amazing. And
it's been.
I gotta go here in a sec.
Oh, I know. Sorry. I know. Yeah, your sun's setting out there while you're there. Well, I had so much more that I would love to talk to you about. I do understand.
Dude, no, if you have any other big questions, feel free to ask. Like, I'm not in a huge rush at all. I want to try to get home soon, because I'm actually going out tonight. But yeah.
You're good. We'll do some quick ones real quick. How about that?
Yeah,
do a couple
dude, totally
quick
fine
ones.
with that.
Let's go quickly back to traveling. I want to know, what do you enjoy most about traveling?
Oh, great question. Holy shit. Meeting new
It's like
people.
everything.
100%.
That was a
Oh,
good.
I'm glad you asked that, because that I can talk about that. Meeting new people. That's probably my number one thing. So it's easy to, like, at least where I'm from. I'm in Little Rock, so I guess that's more for me. But like in Little Rock, it's a small town, so I feel like it's just harder to meet people that are like minded. Here, when you're traveling, it forces you to go to new places, and you just, for some reason, I just get this spark, like, of like energy, and just out of my shell, where I just want to talk to new people, and I just start talking to everybody. And I've met some really cool people, and I've only been here like 3-4 days. Just seeing new things, I feel like, breeds creativity. It breeds like ideas. Yeah, those are the two main ones for sure.
I love that answer. That's and
What
peace
else?
of mind. I would throw peace of mind there. Like you're saying, it lets that creativity and stuff flow because
Dude, yeah.
you're relaxed. You're not in that tight, restricted area you were in before. You know, whatever it might be. It's very relaxing. I agree.
I feel like it just gets you out of your comfort zone too. And I think the comfort
Absolutely.
zone is like the worst place to be in. Like, I feel like a lot of society, or a lot of people, think that what they ultimately want is to be, comfortable, when in reality, I think that's the worst way to live. Like, I see people who are just too comfortable, and they think they think that's going to make them happy. But I know for a fact, when I got comfortable, even just a little bit, I hated it. It was terrible. Like, it wasn't me. Now I'm more uncomfortable than I've been in a long time, and I'm just like more creative. I have more energy, and I feel like travel kind of brings that out of me in a way.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the complacency and comfortableness. It just it can suck you in, and you think you like it, and like you're saying, it can quickly turn haywire. I know when I got complacent and various stuff like that, things just start falling apart. Things are just not occurring the way they were before, and it's like, what the hell's going on? Like, I'm not moving anymore. So I get that.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of it's willpower, but recently I've made a new rule to myself. Like, I'm not allowed to get comfortable. Like, even if it's just day to day, like when I'm at home, and if I feel like this might be like a little too extreme, but if I feel like I don't deserve to watch even Netflix, I don't watch it anymore. Like, I feel like even that's too far. Like, I want to like make sure that at all times I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Like, what could I be doing right now to like grow and reach new heights? So yeah.
It's amazing. It's an amazing mindset to have. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I think more people need it because it's so easy for them to get in that I'm gonna watch Netflix and my life sucks and blah blah blah. And instead, you could look at it the other way and go, I'm doing one thing today to get myself out of this mindset and get into a new mindset. And then slowly but surely, you're in this new happy life that just came out of nowhere, and it's only because you have put in the work on yourself. I cannot stress that enough to people on how important it is to work on yourself, especially in times of hardship. It's like it's so easy to distract yourself with Netflix, going out drinking, drugs, people, whatever. It's so easy, but at the end of the day, there's only you. There's only you that can help you. And if you're not seeking that help and you're not trying to do that help, you're just shoving those issues aside. And
honestly,
nothing gets
man,
resolved.
the payoff for getting out of your comfort zone, whatever that might be for whoever, is amazing. Like, you become more you, and you become more, at least for me, you become more social, you become more creative, and life just becomes a whole lot easier. Like, all that anxiety that you might have and stuff, like it goes away. You figure things out. And yeah, I mean, if I looked at myself a year ago, I feel like I'm, constantly growing, and I think part of it is just staying out of my comfort zone.
Man, I don't even want to ask the rest of my questions because we just ended on such a good note. So I'm gonna call it myself now. That was just perfect. As that's the perfect way I would want to end any podcast right there. Is just talking about personal growth and living yourself every day and growing that self. I mean, that's what the page is all about. So everything's about is just people that are doing them and enjoying it and can share that with the world and how to do better for everybody. So, dude, more power to you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I loved our conversation. I hope you would come on again and we can dive into some other stuff, man. Let's absolutely plan something at some point. Once again, you're always welcome to come visit me. I will gladly show you around my area, show you around Tampa and all that,
Bro.
and get you some video content. If I ever see you at a festival, you bet your ass we're getting some type of content together.
Hell yeah,
So
bro. I'm excited, man.
absolutely,
I mean, it's so cool to know someone else who's in the same niche and trying to create content. I feel like we're really like-minded, and just having these kind of talks, this is the second one I've done this week, is like fulfilling. Like it energizes. Like after talking about all this, I want it more now. I'm just like, this is awesome.
yeah,
This
I
is
want to.
literally
I want
what
to
I
go
want.
home and edit all my
So,
clips right now and get everything done,
exactly,
and
man.
schedule
Yeah,
seven more podcasts this week. Like, let's get it
dude.
rolling, man.
Yeah, bro.
But I know I appreciated it and everything. If you want to plug in your Instagram and stuff, do that real quick, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah. We talked about it earlier, but party over everything. It's so easy to remember. If you go to festivals, feel free to say hi to me. That would be awesome. I love it.
Absolutely, man. Peace.